Shall we start the program, sir? Feridoz, sir.
Hello. Is it I'm audible?
Yeah, yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay,
Shall
all
we
right.
start the program, sir?
Just wait for 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, okay, sir.
Anyone, can you please let me know my screen is visible or not?
Yeah, sir. Visible, sir.
And just check the screen is moving or not. Is it moving?
Yeah, yes, sir. Moving, sir.
Moving, na?
Yeah, yes, sir.
What is display on the screen?
How blockchain technology works.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for the response. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, sir.
Okay, yes, we
Thanks.
can you can start. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all faculty members, resource persons, and participants. Join us for day two of the International Faculty Development Program on Bridging Creativity with AI, Data Science, and Blockchain. Now, to formally begin our proceeding, may I invite Sangeeta Ma'am, Website Checklist Officer, Department of Publication and Production, Nailani Kati Publication and Press, to deliver the welcome speech. Welcome, Ma'am.
Good, good evening to everyone present here. I am delighted to welcome you all today two of the International Faculty Development Program on Bridging Creativity with AI and Data Science and Blockchain. It is pleasure to have a distinguished faculty members, research and participants joining us today. This program aims to explore how emerging technologies can inspire creativity and drive innovation in education and research. We are honored to have today's resource person with us, and I am sure section will be enriching for all. Thank you for being here, and I wish you a productive and engaging section ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm and inspiring words. Now it's my pleasure to introduce today our resource person, Dr. Jagadish sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology. We are honored to have him with us. Sir, we look forward to our valuable insights. This session is now open to you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Okay. Thanks, organizing team. Thanks for the introductions. Right. First of all, thank you so much, Indian Research and Innovation Professional Association, IRIPA, for inviting me for this faculty development program on bridging creativity with AI, data science, and blockchain. Uh, just a sec, madam. Hello.
Ye- yes, sir.
Can you yourself please mute it because my voice is repeating
Okay,
me.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, sir.
Okay. All right. Is it I'm audible now? Everyone, anyone, please reply me. I'm audible now.
Yeah,
Anyone?
yes, sir. Audible,
All
sir.
right. All right. All right.
Audible, sir.
Yeah, the today's topic of this faculty development program is blockchain in healthcare. Actually, myself, Dr. Jagdish Pimple from Saint Vincent Political College of Engineering, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. Now, the topic is blockchain in healthcare. Moving towards the introductory part, basically what it means a blockchain. Nowadays, blockchain technology, it is a booming technology in the today's era. Now, every industry, educational institute, healthcare institute, or we can say IT industry or finance are talking about the blockchain technology, right? So before starting with the actual presentations, we'll let you know, we'll put some lights on blockchain technology. So basically what it means, a blockchain technology means, blockchain technology is an advanced database mechanism that allows the transparent information sharing within a business network. A blockchain database is towards a record in a block data linked together in a chain. As we already know, basically a databases means what? Databases are nothing but where the data get recorded, the data are get stored, right? So if we go a decade back, normally data are stored in the structure query format. Normally data are stored in the server. After some times, or what we can say, after 5 years back, you go, we are going to use the concept of cloud computing as well for storing the datas, right? So if we talked about the storage, or if we talked about the record of data, whenever we need to create a database where we are going to store the data. So when we talked about the databases, so while storing the data into a databases, security is the major concern. So whenever we are going to store the data into the databases, security matters a lot. So if we talked about the security, the blockchain came into the pictures. If we see the evaluations of blockchain, blockchain came into the picture in the year of 1991. But in 2009, the Satoshi Nakamoto, that she's presented the paper, she's presented the white paper on blockchain technology. So in 2009, blockchain came into the picture. So basically, blockchain means what? Where we are going to store the record, where we are going to record a different datas in the form of blocks. So so if we talk about the chain, so if we focus on a blockchain, so if this particular word, so it is a chain of blocks that you can see in the particular in the screen. There are number of blocks are there. So block 1, block 3, block 4, block 5. So number of blocks are there. When we assemble, or what not assemble, when we connect all these blocks together, so we need to form a chain. So basically blockchain, it is a chain of blocks where each and every block stores a records. So that means a blockchain, so it is an advanced databases which provides a high security on the data which is recorded in the blocks actually. So blockchain, it is nothing but it is a collection of records which are stored in the blocks, and block get chained together for forming a blockchain actually. So it means that a blockchain. So after that, what are the main features of blockchain? Why the peoples are using a blockchain? What are the different features provided by blockchain? The very first is a decentralized digital ledger. Basically what it means, a decentralized ledger actually. If we talked about the centralized system and a decentralized system, suppose if you have a client server system, suppose if you have a server, and under that server we have recorded some data, we have stored some sort of a records. So that particular server represent a centralized system. Now, whereas what do you mean by decentralized systems? Where decentralized system is the same record, same copy of that particular record is available with the different nodes or a different machines. That means a decentralization. And that to ledger means what? Ledger means it is nothing but a records. It is nothing but a record that we can see in normally what happens in the shops. So if the shopkeeper maintain the register, and in that register they are maintaining the records of their customer, right? That we already seen in the shops, in the offices as well. In a previously actually, if we go decades back, the shopkeepers or the offices are going to maintain the register for maintaining the data. So after suppose if you talked about a digitalizations, so it means that a digital ledger means what? Instead of a physical ledger, we are maintaining a digital ledger, and that to decentralized manner. So every data recorded into the databases, that will be available with the different nodes. It means that if something happened with a one particular machine, something happened with the one particular computer, so your data will be safe. That means your data will not be lost. Otherwise, what happens? Suppose if we have focus on a central server, if we focus on a server system, so all data is available with the server. If something happen, if the data get lost, or we can say your server get corrupt, sorry, your server get crash, so your complete data get lost out. You are not able to get your data stored in your server again back. That means you're not going to revert back your data from the server which is crashed already. So for the decentralized system came into the picture, so where the data are stored in a decentralized manner, right? So blockchain basically use on decentralized system. After that, a secure and transparent system. So it is one of the feature which is provided by the blockchain. It is not that none of the technologies which provided the tamper resistance secure system. So if we talk about the tamper resistance means what? So when data get recorded into the blockchains, so that data is tamper proof, that no one can easily hack, no one can attack the data which is stored into the blockchain. So it is not that much easy to temper out the data which is already exists in the blockchain, or data which is recorded into the blockchain. It has not been possible to temper out the data. That means it is not possible to breach out the data or to modify the data once the data get recorded into the blockchain. And after that, it enables a transparent record keeping. It is very much important feature which is provided by the blockchain. So transparent record keeping means that once the record get recorded into the blockchain or a digital ledger, that will be visible, that will be open for every that will be open for a public people. Anyone can see whatever data you've recorded into the blockchain. So it provided transparent record keeping system where each and every member of a system will know each and every data, whatever data get recorded into the blockchain. So these are the main three. Other features is also exist for the blockchain, but these are the three main features are exist for the blockchain. And that's why the people and the industries are going to use the blockchain technologies in the different organizations or different industries and companies. After that, why to use a blockchain in healthcare? Why the people are going to use a blockchain in healthcare actually? So the very first and foremost point, just we are considering the healthcare system, that we are talking about the healthcare system today, because healthcare, it is one of the area where the blockchain is used nowadays. So how blockchain we can use in the healthcare? The very first and foremost thing is enhances in the data security. Second point is ensures the patient data ownership. Third point is reduces the fraud and the errors and improve interoperability and among the systems. Now, if we talked about the healthcare system, in healthcare system, the lot many data are very crucial data. Whether we are talking about the patient data, doctors data, then your what we can see your pathological data, your tested data. So other than what we can see your drugs related data, or you can say your medicine related data, lot many data are there, and all these data are very much crucial. So suppose if any hackers, because all these suppose when we want to create a unified portal for managing all of this data on the web portal or in the form of applications. So it may be possible that there may be a lot many hackers are there, lot many attackers are there, they are trying to attack on your data actually. So when we talked about the attackers or introduce, they are watching your history, what you're going to do actually. So they are trying to breach out your data actually. So if we talked about, just a sec. Okay, sorry for the interruptions actually. Can you please let me know my screen is visible and I'm audible?
Ma'am, sir, yes, sir, available, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Okay. Now, why to use the blockchain in healthcare? So, if you're talking about the healthcare system, the data is very much crucial part of healthcare management system. So, if we want to provide the security on the data, whether it may be a patient data or a doctor data or something what we can say medicine related data, or it can be some sort of insurance claim related data. So we need to provide some sort of a security, and that to tamper proof security, or that data should be stored tamper proof actually. So for this particular reasons, we are going to use, or we are going to implement or integrate the blockchain technology in the healthcare system actually. So these are the different features, these are the different regions. That's for that we need to use a blockchain in healthcare. Actually, if we talked about the blockchain, and there are different types of blockchain technology, or there are different types of blockchain actually. So suppose if anybody wants to, or any organizations wants to implement the blockchain in their organizations, so there are four different types of blockchains. So there is a first one is public blockchain, second one is private blockchain, third one is federated blockchain, it is also called as consortium blockchain, and after that the last one is a hybrid blockchain. When we talked about the public blockchain, suppose if I'm having my organization and I need to create the public blockchain in my organization. So public blockchain means what? Whatever data you are keeping into the blocks, these data or these records are available for each and every person, that the person is belonging to your organization. That means all the members are having the equal responsibility, equal access right permission, that the person can see the records recorded into the blockchains. That means there are some certain features of public blockchains. It is having the open network, free access to anyone else. There is no permission required at all to connect with the public blockchain. The ledgers are shared ledgers. That means every node is having the same copy of the records, and there is a full transparencies. There is no hidden at all. So under the public blockchain, anyone can connect. Under the public blockchain, we don't have to take any sort of permissions, and the ledger is also a public ledger. So in public blockchain, everything will be known to everyone, right? Now after that, another type is private blockchain. If you're talking about the private blockchain, so in private blockchain, it is that particular private blockchain is introduced, or we can implement for a one particular organizations, where that particular blockchain is having the closed network. What it means a closed network? It means that the member of that particular organization only have a access to the private, only have a access to the data of this particular blockchain. So it, the name represent a private, that means it is not a public. So it is, that means whatever data or whatever, or what we can say access permission is available with the private blockchain, it is given to the given to the what we can say restricted users, we can say. That means there is no chance anyone can join this private blockchain. That means in case of a private blockchain, the only restricted, or what we can say, the person which is belong to this particular organization, or that particular person is a part of that particular system, then then that particular person should be the part of this private blockchain. That means under the private blockchain, what happens, only the person belong to this particular organization, or a particular, or we can say the member of this organization, they will they will have access permission. They will know what's going into this particular blockchain, what type of record get recorded into the blockchain. So that means that means other public people cannot know what is going under this particular blockchain. So this particular blockchain basically implemented for one particular organization. Talking about the public blockchain, it is open to all. Everyone can know, everyone can see, everyone can see what is going into this particular blockchain, or going into this particular organization. But in case of private, it is restricted to the one particular organization. Now next one is federated blockchain, or we can say consortium blockchain. Now talking about the consortium blockchain, it is something like it is having the combination of public and the private, but that too, it is limited to the multiple organizations. That means what happened with the federated blockchain or a consortium blockchain, suppose if we have a 3 to 4 organization coming together to form a blockchain. So where that multiple organization come together to create a blockchain. So it means that, it provide the features of private blockchain as well as the public blockchain. So it means that we have a multiple organization, we have a group access. we required a permission to join this blockchain. Ledger is also shared because this is where we are that means we are using the blockchain technology, so ledgers are shared. After that, transparencies, but transparencies always be there because we are using a blockchain. Now consortium means what? The multiple organizations is going to develop a one particular blockchain, so called as federated blockchain, where the multiple organizations is going to come together to form a blockchain, and every organization is having some different sort of members, or we can say some different sort of peoples are there in the groups. They are having the access permission uh, to get, or what we can say, to get the access of this blockchain actually. After that, a hybrid blockchain. So hybrid blockchain, it is a combination of a public and a private blockchain. It is over and above the federated blockchain. So hybrid, it is a combination of public and the private. It means that we have a multiple organization, we have a mixed access, we have a restrictions, we have a mixed ledger, and we have a semi transparent. It means that in hybrid blockchain, the organization can put a thought which data is to be transparent and which data is not. That means which data is open to all and which data is kept hidden or kept safe. That particular data is not open to the persons, open to all the persons for the visibility. It means that the hybrid blockchain, so we can put a restrictions on transparencies. We can put the restrictions on showing the data actually. So that will be covered, that will be in hybrid blockchain. So these are the different four different types of blockchain. Now, talking about the types of network architecture, if we talked about the network architecture, so as we already know, in case of a networking, there are different types of networks. One is a server based network, or another one is a peer to peer networks. So when we talked about the server based network, the server is connected with all the clients, the server is connected with all the nodes, right? That means every data is gets stored into the server. But if something happened with this server, your whole system get collapsed, right? So blockchain uses a peer-to-peer network, but normally we have used a client-server network. But talking about a blockchain basically focus on a peer-to-peer network where every peer is connected to each other. So that it means if anything happened with one particular peer, the rest of the peer will be active. So that's why blockchain uses a peer-to-peer network. No, if we want to establish the peer-to-peer networks, so there are different types of peer-to-peer network actually. One is unstructured P2P, called as unstructured peer-to-peer network, then structured P2P network, then the hybrid P2P network. Unstructured P2P network, if you're talking about the unstructured P2P network, there is no structure that we can create the network. So we can create the network of any point, right? So there is, and that means in this type of p2p network, each devices is able to make an equal contributions. This network is easy to build as device can be connected randomly in the network. So it means that in unstructured p2p network, any device can connect it at any moment of time. There is no structured actually, right? So anyone can connect with the network, and anyone can take a benefit of this particular network. So but it is very difficult to find the content, because there is no proper structure for adding or removing the devices, or adding or removing the nodes in this in the p2p network. So it is very difficult to find out content actually. Then the second one is structured p2p network. In structured p2p network, there is a specific software that I use to create a virtual layer. So with the help of that software, we are going to add or remove some devices or some nodes or some what we can say machines into the network. So we need to use some sort of a software. We need to use some sort of a specific structure for adding the machines or nodes into the structure. And a hybrid, so hybrid peer-to-peer network is one where it uses the features of unstructured network as well as a structured network actually. So it provides that means it will work on both that structure as well as the unstructured network. Now, if we talked about the blockchain, the cryptographic hash function it plays the vital role in the hashing. Vital role in the blockchain actually, because the complete blockchain will be work on a hashing actually. It plays a vital role. So basically what it means a hashing actually. So hashing is the process of converting your original piece of data into a digest or a hash function or a hash values. Basically hash is nothing but a digest. So whenever data or whenever you want to put a record into a blockchain. So before storing the record into a blockchain, we need to first of all find out its hash value, find out its digest actually. So basically, when we are going to find out the digest for a one particular data, so suppose there are different hash functions we need to use, not hash functions. For that we need to use a different cryptographic functions that we can say. So as we already know, in case of a cryptographics, we have a different algorithms, that we have a md5, that we have other functions, other algorithms as well, right? That we can say, that sh224, that SHA-224, SHA-256, SHA-520, 12, then KCAC 256. These are the different algorithms that we can use to find out the cryptographic hash functions. Now basically, how to find out the hash actually? So now we are talking about the hash. So if any what we can say, any piece of data you are having, suppose that you can see on the screen, hello, suppose my message is hello, I need to find out the hash value for this hello. So there are a hash value generator in an online platform that we can use, or any algorithm that we can use to find out the hash value for any sort of messages. So what we have to do, suppose for there is a hello, for hello we need to find out the hash, so we need to apply algorithms. The algorithm will provide a 256-bit hash value, right? So for any sort of messages, there is no limit. Suppose there is what I have written hello, so for hello we get the 256-bit hash value. Suppose if you have 1,000 line of code, or we can say, so suppose 200 KB data or 1 GB data, then also will get a 256-bit hash value. So it means that your hash value is constant, it is a 256. It depends on the type of hash function, it depends on the type of cryptographic algorithms you have been used. So likewise we need to generate the hash value. So now how, what are the cryptographic hash functions available? Now if we're talking about the hash values, how to generate the hash values with the help of different cryptographic hash function. Suppose h of m, it means that h is your hash function, m is your message actually, and finally we need to find out a digest. Digest is nothing but your hash value. So your message is of any length, it may be of, it may be of any small data, it may be of maybe a large data. There is no restrictions at all. The amount of data size should be provided for the for finding the digest or the hash values. So data size can be of anything, but your hash value should be a constant, that is 256-bit. It depends again on the type of hash, type of cryptographic functions you have been used. So there are bundle of cryptographic hash function. For example, we have a SHA-224, we have a SHA-256, we have a SHA-512, we have a KCAC 256, and we have a Whirlpool as well. So these are the different cryptographic hash functions, that algorithm that we can use to find out the hash function, to find out the hash value for a particular messages. So these are the different algorithms that we can use for finding the hash values. Now how to generate the hash values? If you google, uh, you can find out the different hash values generators in a online platforms. When you put in google, so that is online hash generator, so you will get a lot many links. So for example, if you can click freeformatters.com, after that we have a online webtoolkit.com, then after that we have a text2suit.com. So these are the different platforms where that means that you can take a help of that for finding the hash values. So basically, how we are going to find out the hash values or finding the digest for a one particular messages. Now if we talk now, yes, you can see on the screen. So your data may be of a numeric data, your data may be of textual data, your data may be of image based data, your data may be of video type data, or your data may be of audio type data. So your data, data may be of any kind, right? So you can provide any sort of data as a message. So that message is given to the cryptographic hash function, and cryptographic hash function will provide the 256-bit hash values called as hash or a digest. So once you will get these 256-bit values, that called that particular hash value, or we can say that 256-bit is a hash value. So once you get this particular value, so with the help of that particular hash value, we are not going to reverse, we are not going to get back your data originally. It means that suppose if I put a hello message, and for that hello I'm going to find out a 256-bit hash value. But once the hash is generated, so from that particular hash value we are not going to generate the hello once again. That means you are not going to reverse your data actually, right? So you are that particular, what we can say, your cryptographic hash function is a deterministic. That means what happens, suppose it is what we can say, it is sensitive, case sensitive as well. That means if suppose capital A is there, for capital A we are finding the hash value will get different hash value. For small a, the hash value is different, right? It is a deterministic characteristics, or we can say deterministic feature of your hash or cryptographic hash function actually. So likewise we need to generate a digest, or likewise we need to generate a hash value for a different messages. It may be of any kind, it may be of numbers, text, images, video, or the audio, right? Now how blockchain actually work, how blockchain technology actually work. So suppose if you want to integrate a blockchain technology, or if you want to create a blockchain technology for your organization or industry, so we need to know the process how it actually work, right? Just I'll explain you the process of how blockchain technology work. Now suppose if any data you want to store into the blockchain actually, right? So if any data you want to store into the blockchain, so first of all you have to initiate the transaction. You have to suppose I need to, suppose the person A wants to send the money to person B. So person A needs to start the transaction first, and in between A to B there are lot many process, that process we need to follow to reach till the B actually, right? So in between A to B, what process we need to carry out, that process we are going to see. The very first and foremost thing is, first of all we need to initiate the transaction, right? That means we need to start the transaction, we need to request the transaction, right? So block that represent the transaction is created. Therefore the particular transactions block get created, right? So once the transaction get created, and the blocks for the transaction get created, that block is broadcasted to the every peers, broadcasted to the every node which is available in the network actually. So it means that the transaction is reached to each and every node. Why it is required? That means if the transaction is initiated, so that transaction is given to every node which is available in the network actually, so that every network start mining that data. So basically what it means, the mining or validations actually. Once the data broadcasted, once the data is floated over on the network, so every peers or every node is going to see the data, what it is actually, right? Now we need to validate that data. It means that whatever data coming towards the network, we need to mine that data, or we need to validate that data, whether the data we are getting correctly, or whether we need to whether we are getting the correct data or not, whether we need to, whether that data is what we can say, it is malicious data, or we can check whether we are getting the data which is not getting from the correct recipient or not. So that all of these things we need to check. So who is going to check all of these things, who is going to mine the particular transaction, whether we are getting the correct transactions or not, whether we need to add this transaction or not. So in blockchain technology there is a role of miners and mining. In case of, suppose if we are using a bitcoin blockchain, so the name we can call it as mining and miners. But we suppose if we are using a ethereum blockchain, so in case of a ethereum blockchain, we can call it as a validator, or the process of validation actually. These are the two different terminologies, or the nomenclatures that we can use. It depends on the type of blockchains we are using, right? So suppose transaction is initiated and broadcasted over on the network, so the miners or validators will try to validate that particular record, whether we are getting the correct record or not, whether that data we need to add into the blockchain or not, right? Once the validator or miners validate that data, that means they approve, yes, this particular record is a genuine record that we can add it into the blockchain. So once the validation done properly, once we get a green signal from validators or a miners, then and then that data get added into the block, and your transaction get complete. Once the data get added into the blockchain, so that data will be visible to everyone, because it is a transparent policy. It is a transparent policy. Once data get recorded into the blockchain, it is visible to everyone. So this process we need to follow while we are using the blockchain technology. Now after that, the consensus mechanism, it is very much important. So whenever we want to store any sort of data, just anyone please confirm me on the screen, consensus mechanism diagram is there, level wise diagram. Anyone please confirm. Is it am audible? Anyone please confirm? Hello? Hello?
Sir, yeah, sir. சொல்லுங்க sir.
Consensus mechanism?
Hello, sir. Sir, is it
Hello?
visible, sir?
On the screen there is that consensus mechanism screen.
Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Is it
All
visible
right.
on access mechanism, sir?
Okay, okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your confirmation. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So basically, what it means a consensus mechanism actually, right? So we talked about the blockchain technology. The consensus plays a vital role. So basically, what it means a consensus mechanism. Why we need to use that, right? Because when we initiate the transaction for storing into the blockchain, we need to validate that transaction, whether we are getting the correct transaction or not, whether we are getting the data from the correct person or not. That we need to validate. That means, suppose if you are doing any sort of transaction, or if you are sending the data rollover on the network, so it may be a lot many introducers or hackers are there. They may be trying to hack out your data. They may be trying to attack. They may be do the attack on your data. So what happened? So we need to check whether we are getting the correct data or not. So we for that we need to use a consensus mechanism. So what is the role of consensus mechanism? So there are different consensus mechanisms are available in the blockchain technology. It depends the types of blockchains you're using, right? So basically, if we're talking about the consensus mechanism, the very first and foremost phase is that we need to verify the transaction by the first verifier, then verifier broadcast into the blockchain network. That is the second phase. Once the transaction is initiated, your your transaction get broadcast over on the blockchain network. Now the transaction is verified by the other verifiers, they, because lot many miners validators are exist in the blockchain, so they are going to verify or validate your transaction. Once the transaction is verified, that will be added into the blockchain, and block get added into the blockchain at last, and your transaction get finalized. So basically, consensus mechanisms is used to verify or validate the transactions before the transaction getting recorded into the blockchain actually, right? So there are different consensus mechanisms are there, right? When the Bitcoin blockchain was came into the picture, the very first and foremost consensus mechanism was proof of work. So basically in Bitcoin blockchain, yeah, that you may heard about the Bitcoin, it is a cryptocurrency, right? So when Bitcoin came into the picture, so from that particular onwards blockchain and exist. So in case of a Bitcoin blockchain, we need to use a proof of work as a consensus mechanism. So basically POW is a consensus mechanism which is used to mine the transaction. That means before adding the transaction, before adding your transaction into the blockchain, we need to verify your transactions, whether that particular transaction is a correct transaction or not, whether the transactions which you have received from the person, it is a genuine recipient or not, sorry, which is a genuine user or not. So that we need to do, right? So we need to do the we need to do the mind sorry we need to mine the transactions actually, right? So mining is nothing but we are going to verify the transactions. So how POW works actually? So POW means what? It is a proof of work. So it means that in case of a blockchain, in case of a Bitcoin blockchain, in a Bitcoin networks, there are different nodes are there. The- so out of, suppose if I have I have a blockchain network of 100 nodes. So out of 100 nodes, out of 100 nodes, the 10 or 15 or 20 nodes are they are willing to who do the process of mining or verifying actually. Sorry, mining or that means that out of 100, that 10 machines or 10 nodes are interested for mining. So what that 10 people are doing the work of minings only. So how does mining actually work? Mining is nothing but they for becoming a miners, we required a setup of mining actually. So for mining any transactions, we required a complex mathematical uh, complex mathematical computation we need to perform for mining the transactions. Now for mining, we required a huge amount of infrastructure. We required what we can say a lot. That means we need to spend amount of what we can say in economic cost in for mining the transactions as well. It means that, so in case of a POW, what happens, those who are the miners, suppose if in my network the 10 miners are exist, right? So once the transactions are come up into the blockchain, and that particular transaction is broadcasted to the 10 miners actually, so all the miners are working together for mining the transactions. But out of that 10 miners, one miners get a chance to mine properly actually. That means that out of 10 miners, one of the particular miner has found the hash value, has found that that particular transaction is verified properly. So once the particular miner mine the transactions, it means that that miner will get reward point in the form of bitcoins actually, right? So the problem with the POW is, at the time all the miners are working together to verify the transactions. That means parallel computation is required in case of a POW, right? Because all the miners are working together, and out of that one will get a chance to get a reward points actually, right? So it means that in POW, so likewise we are doing the mining process. Once the data get verified or mined by the miners, then again that data will be provided to all the nodes which is exist in the system, exist in the blockchain. The once all or the 51% nodes are satisfied with the mining process, then and then that particular data get recorded into the blockchain. So this is actually the process of POW. Another one is a proof of stack. So POS, that after some period of time, the new blockchain technology came into the picture, that is Ethereum blockchain. After the Bitcoin, we have to use the Ethereum blockchain actually. You might have heard about the Ethereum actually, Ethereum blockchain. So under the Ethereum blockchain, we have to use a consensus mechanism called as a POS, called as proof of stack actually. So in proof of stack, how mining will be done? So in proof of stack, or we can say in Ethereum blockchain, instead of miners and mining, we can call it as validation and validators, right? So whenever transaction come into the networks, we need to validate that transactions. So how POS work? Proof of stake. So those who want to become a validator, first of all we need to create a stack of validators, and that validators need to put some sort of a bitcoins into the stack, right? And out of that, suppose the 10 people are wants to become a validators, right? So 10 people needs to put some sort of a bitcoin on the stack. Out of that, one of the validator may selected to validate the transactions, right? If that particular validator validated the transactions properly, then that particular validator will get a reward points actually. So there is that means in POS there is no any kind of parallel computation is required. That means only one validator is busy to validate the transaction. But in case of a POW, what happens, all miners are working simultaneously to mine the transactions. But in POS, we are saving the resources, because only single validator are going to mine the transaction. So that is a POS that we will work in Ethereum blockchain. So there are lot many consensus mechanisms are there, like POB, that is proof of burn is there, proof of activity is there, proof of elapsed time is there. So lot many consensus mechanisms are exist in the blockchain. It is totally depend on the type of blockchains we are going to use for validating the transactions actually, right? Now the third next part is hyperledger fabric or hyperledger environment actually, hyperledger composer actually. So basically what it means a hyperledger fabric. So if we talked about the blockchain technology, we need to use a one particular environment. So under that environment, we are going to establish or integrate a blockchain technology for a particular organization. So the very first hyperledger fabric or a hyperledger composer was created by Linux Foundation and IBM's itself. So it provides that basically hyperledger fabric or hyperledger framework, it is an environment that we can use to integrate, or we need to establish the blockchain technology or blockchain concept for a one particular organization or the multiple organizations as well. So it provided different features as well. That means we can control the access, we can have a high performance, we have a low latencies, confidential transaction, and modular architecture. These are some sort of features that are provided by the hyperledger fabric or the hyperledger composer as well. So this is actually the environment. Now different hyperledger framework are exist nowadays that we can use, that are provided by the different industries, like fabric, smooth, Indy, Iroha, and Besu. These are the different hyperledger framework or exist that we can use for establishing the blockchain for a particular industry or any sort of organization. So talking about the first is Fabric. So Fabric is the purpose is enterprise private blockchain. So with the help of Fabric, we are going to create a private blockchain. So the key features are modular, channels, and chain code. These are the key features of Fabric. Then we have a Sooth. So under the Sooth, we have a modular ledger with POIT called as proof of elapsed time, that like POW, POS, POB. So we have a POET also. So in case of a Sooth, we have to use a POET called as proof of elapsed time consensus mechanisms for validating the transactions. So where the parallel transaction execution, it is one of the key features. Then ND, it is a decentralized identity, and the key features are very verifiable credential. Iroha, it is one of the hypervisor framework which create a simple permission blockchain, and after that basically it is used for mobile friendly. Key feature is it is used in mobile as well, so it is mobile friendly. Another is Besu. It is a Ethereum client. So basically, the key features of Besu is EVM, that is Ethereum virtual machine compatible, and POS and IBFT. These are the two consensus mechanism that will be compatible with the Besu actually. So which hyperledger framework we need to use, which consensus mechanism we need to use, it is totally depend on your requirement, and it is totally depend on the organization's requirement, which type of blockchain we need to establish. According to that, we need to use a hyperledger framework for integrating the blockchain, or setting the blockchain for a particular organization or the industry. Now how hyperledger fabric work actually? Now this is just a this is just a block diagram, what we can say, that elaborate or that explain about the hyperledger fabric works. So there are two companies, company A and company B is there. Suppose company A wants to company A wants to send any sort of transaction to company B. So what, there are some sort of a peers are there, because in peer-to-peer networks we have a different types of peers. So we have a endorser peer, we have a anchor peer, then we have a general peer. The types of peers are there. So that orange color, that orange color that you can see in the diagram, that endorser peer is reflected by the orange color. Basically use of endorser peer is to simulate the transactions. Once to simulate the transactions, then it goes to ordering peer. Ordering peer, what does the ordering peer, ordering peer is going to create a blocks actually. It is not a peer, ordering is not a peer actually. Basically it is used to create the blocks, right? After that we have an anchor peer. So anchor peer is represented by the blue color. So basically, uh, anchor peer, the role of anchor peer is to validate the transactions actually, right? It is provide a bridge between the different organizations actually. And after that we have a general peer. General peer is represented with a gray color, which is used to add the transactions into the blocks or into the ledger. So these are the different pairs, and these are having the different roles of the different peers. Now after that, these are the that I have already explained you about the endorser peer, anchor peer, general peer, and ordering peer. So these are the different peers which are already exist. So endorser peer, it is responsible for simulating and endorsing the transaction. Then anchor peer, it is act as a communication bridge between the organization. General peer, basically it is used to store the transaction into the ledger or record the transaction into the ledgers. And ordering peer, it is not actually a peer, it is actually the what we can say the role of ordering peer is to create the blocks actually. Now likewise we need to use a different peers, uh, we need to use the different peers for doing the transactions between the different companies or different organizations, right? And then this is actually the workflow. So in workflow, what we need to do, the client sends the proposal, endorser peer simulate the transaction, client gets the endorsement, then client send the endorsement transaction to the ordering peer, ordering services. Then orderer creates the block delivered to all peers, and peer validates it, and finally ledger updated everywhere. So this workflow, that workflow, or these are the steps we need to carry it out from initiation of the transaction till the transaction get recorded into the blockchain. Now this is actually the evolution of the blockchain. When blockchain came into the picture in 2009, so very first time we have used a bitcoin blockchain, that basically it is used for cryptocurrency. Then after that, in 2015, the ethereum blockchain came into the picture called as blockchain 2.0. After that, in blockchain 2.0, we have to use a smart contract tokenization and virtual machine that we have been used in the year of 2018. That blockchain in 3.0 was came into the picture. So under the blockchain 3.0, we've used a hyperledger Fabric or Hyperledger Composer. Under that, we've used a decentralized applications, that web apps we have been used, and API, middleware, system security. So these are the different things or the different areas where the blockchain 3.0 works. After sometimes in 2020, the blockchain 4.0 was there, right? So that blockchain 4.0 is completely AI enabled, and it is what we can say, it is high secured, and it provides a high privacy on the data. So it is a mixture of IoT, clouds, and AI actually. So again, there are different areas where the blockchain 4.0 is used, and nowadays currently we are in the era of blockchain 5.0, where the Hydra hash graphs, that the concept that we can use. So the areas are IoE, Edge AI, that is 6G, federated machine learning, smart government corruptions. All these are the different areas where the blockchain 5.0 work. So that means the already the future of that we can see, we can broadly see that blockchain 5.0 is a feature of in every area. It may be of healthcare, it may be of finance, it may be of educational, it may be of any manufacturing industry or any other else. So everywhere we can use a blockchain. Nowadays companies are moving towards the blockchain because it provide the transparency, security, high security, and confidentiality as well, as far as the private blockchain is concerned, right? So this is actually the evolution of the blockchain. Now, what are the use cases of blockchain in healthcare? So if we talked about the healthcare, so we can that means the very first and foremost part is managing the patient data, that we are going to manage the patient data in the form of blockchain. We can manage the medical credential tracking. We have a smart contracts for insurance, for that means that, as we already know already, that we knows that the nowadays that people are opening that what we can say, medical insurance and all, and people are claiming for that. So there may be a lot of corruptions are there as far as the medical insurance claim is there. For that we need to create a smart contracts, right, to create a transparencies and security. After that, medical procedures for managing the medical procedures, like any sort of any disease related, any sort of operations, or any sort of what we can say, uh, that procedure we need to follow, that we can record it into the blockchain, so that we can provide more security. After that, the last, just a sec please. Sorry for the interruptions. uh, is it am audible?
Sir, yeah, sir, you are audible, sir.
All right, all right, all right. Okay. So these are the different areas where we are going to use the blockchain technology actually. Now, if you're talking about the background and the motivations for EHR actually, right? So EHR means that electronics health record management system. So just I'm taking one area where we can use a blockchain actually, right? So if you're talking about the electronics health record. Now just take an scenario. Nowadays what happens, any patient wants to take any sort of treatment from any doctors, so that patient needs to visit the doctors, and he needs to tell the complete history to the doctor, right? And after that, doctor will provide some sort of a medications, he suggested some sort of a test and all, right? And every time doctor will provide one file. That file contains the prescription, that file contains the test reports and all. So whenever patient wants to visit any doctor, every time he need to carry their files. Suppose if any patient not getting any sort of recovery from any existing doctor, so he may change the doctor as well. So at that time, suppose one patient is taking the treatment from five different hospitals, so he needs to carry the five different files at a time. So it is over and ahead, it is very difficult to maintain all of these files. It is very difficult to keep all of this record actually, right? So if we are talking about the patient record, right? Now suppose, why not we are going to create a unified portal or unified system, where all the records of the patients are at a one place. So whenever patients changing the hospitals, so at any moment of time, on a single click, any doctor can get the detailed history history of the patients of about the what the particular patient is that means the particular patient is visited how many hospitals the particular patient what we can say that particular patient getting what type of treatment in his past actually. So any patient can visit any doctor, so any doctor can get the patient history on a single click. So for that, why not we are going to use a blockchain technology where whenever patient visit to the doctor, so whenever doctors providing any sort of medications or he suggests any sort of what we can say any sort of test and all, right? So everything will be recorded in the form of blocks in the form of that will be recorded in the blockchain. So whenever the patient go here and there, whenever the patient changes the doctor, that particular patient can share his id, and the doctor can get the complete history of the patient, and whether he is getting the treatment from the number of hospitals actually, right? So that is one of the case where we need to create, we need to do the automation in the medical era where the data of the patient as well as the doctor will be stored in a secured manner so that the doctors and the patients can see the history, right? That means there is no need for the patient to carry all of these files. That means again, suppose that particular patient lost his file, so again there is a very big question mark for the doctor when he visit the doctors and file is not there. So doctor will be in dilemma which type of treatment the doctor need to provide to the patient, because he don't know the previous history of the particular patient. And as far as the patient is concerned, that patient is not knowing how the particular doctor has provided what type of medications and what type of treatment is given actually. So we need to focus on that actually, right? So all of these problems, or that means related to files, related to data, all these problem may be recovered with the help of that your blockchain technology. So that we need to focus actually, right? So now, what are the objectives of the smart healthcare record system? That we can create a central decentralized online health record portal. Then we can secure the login and the data sharing between the patient and the doctor. And we can use a machine learning algorithm for predictive analytics and the anonymity detection. Then ensure the privacy, interoperability, and scalability in the blockchain. So with the help of blockchains, all of this problem get resolved, and we are going to create a decentralized online health record portal where the data gets stored in a decentralized manner. Now talking about the system architecture, suppose if you want to create this platform, so we required four layer architectures. The very first and foremost thing is the data acquisition layer that we need to create. मी बंद करू टाकेल. हं. चाबी कुठे आहे? Okay. So the very first and foremost layer is that data acquisition layer that we need to create that input from the patient, the doctors, and IoT health devices. Because many times in the hospitals we have a different devices are connected together. That devices are going to sense the data, and that data get stored into the blockchain actually, right? So many hospitals, many big hospitals, they can use the concept of IoT as well. Then we can create a storage layer for storing the data like clouds or blockchain based secure record management system. That means we need to create a storage layer. Then we have a ML analytics layer. ML is important because suppose if you want to classify the data, suppose if you do the classification, because if you're talking about the data and data get rolled over on the network, so it may be a possibilities when the data gets sent over on the network, so there may be a possibilities the attacker may reach out to your data, the attacker may update or modify your data. So you can think the small change in your hospital, small change in your patient record, so it may cause a huge impact on the patient health actually, right? Suppose say consider in my report the HbA1c, my HbA1c is of suppose 4.5, and suppose if any hacker change it, HbA1c is 11.5, right? So you can think the small change in your health in your health report, so it will cause a more impact on your health, as well as it is very difficult to the doctor to take a decision actually. So ML is required to for classification of data. That means whatever data we are getting into the blockchain, or whatever data we are getting on the network, that data is correct data or not, or the data we are getting the correct, or we are getting the correct data or not. That means otherwise we are getting the updated data. That means we need to check, we need to classify. Yes, I'm getting the data from a person, so that a person data will be reach out, that data which is sent by the A as it is, that there is no alteration, there is no any sort of any sort of breaching of the data in between, from machine A to the server system, or machine A to the storage system actually, right? So that's why the ML is plays a vital role while using a blockchain for healthcare for classification of data. After that, we have an access layer. Once the portal is ready, so that portal, that things can be utilized through the web, or that things can be utilized through a mobile phones, and that means the patient as well as the doctor, these are the stakeholders that are going to use this particular system. So these are the four layer architecture that we can use. Now, online health record system. So basically, these are the different things that we have: a patient, we have a doctors, and then we have a data acquisition layer. So storage layer is there. So, and in between we have a ML analytics layer, which is used for classification of data actually. So these are the things which is required uh, for a medical healthcare record management system. Now, we are going to integrate the blockchain and machine learning. So why we are going to integrate blockchain with machine learning? Basically, machine learning which is used for classification, and blockchain it is used for security. So when we combine both of this two technologies, so we can get better results, or we can get a better features while using these two technologies into a healthcare system. Now, blockchain applications in healthcare. So we can use the healthcare for clinical records. We can use hospitals. We can use the system for universities. We can use in government sector. We can use in insurance companies. We can use in research institute. So there are a lot many applications of healthcare where the blockchain can be integrated. After that, what are the key features of this particular electronics healthcare record management? So we are going to create the unified login system for the doctors and the patients. So again, we can provide the access permission to the doctor as well as the patient. Suppose if I'm the patient and I don't want to show my XYZ history to the XYZ doctor, so I can hide that information and from the doctors as well. So that type of access permission we can accommodate, or we can integrate it in our system as well, right? Then we can automatic medical record updates. Then we have a smart search summary using NLP. Then we can use the AI driven health insight and alerts. Then we can use a role based access control and data visualization and dashboards. So we can prepare a dashboard as well for getting the data on a what we can say, on a uh, single click. After that, what is the workflow while making this system? So we need to create a user or a doctor login dashboard. So we need to upload the data, health records or IoT data or the reports. Then there is a ML engine process. So we need to classify the data, then again generate the predictions of alert. So if the data is original, if the data is validated, or your data is correct one, so that data get recorded into the blockchain. If it is not, so that data is what we can say, that data is not going to record into the blockchain, is so that data will be stored into the other repository actually. Then the last one is result display on the dashboard. So on the dashboards, we are going to display the results. That means the one particular patient's, how many doctors he has visited, what type of treatment is given by the different doctors. That what we can say major component that would be displayed on the dashboard actually. After that, future research and opportunities for the student and the faculties, right? So there are lot many ample of areas where the student as well as the faculty can contribute in the blockchain technology that we are going to integrate in the healthcare system. That we can generate the explainable AI for healthcare, we can create the explainable AI. We need to perform the age ML for wearable devices. We have to use the blockchain for wearable devices. So that devices may be weird, and data may be sensed to the sensors and get stored into the blockchain. Then after that, smart hospital management system. So that we need to uh, convert the traditional hospital into the smart hospital management system. For that also we need to take the help of machine learning and the blockchain. Then we have opportunity for interdisciplinary research like CS plus healthcare. That means different background, what we can say, different streams related faculties and students, they can contribute. They can do the contributory, or we can say interdisciplinary research along with the healthcare professionalist, right? After that, collaboration models, that industry, hospital and researcher centers, the research center, that they can collaborate together, they can come together, they can do the research, so they can find out some sort of a different problem statement, and they can find out the different problems, or identify the different problems exist in the healthcare system, and try to provide the solutions, try to provide the solutions, what we can say, in the form of, so in the form of, say, suppose for example applications, or in the form of, say, suppose, say any methodologies, or any sort of procedurals, so that they need to provide for for enhancing the smartness in the activity happening into the hospitals actually. So these are the different areas where the researcher and student can contribute actually. So all of these things from my side. So thank you all. Any questions? So please, I'll be very happy to answer your questions. Anyone is having any sort of questions, so please let me know. Is participants any questions, so please let me know.
Dear participants, any questions or any doubts?
You can type your question on the chat box as well if you're not able to unmute yourself.
Sir, shall we conclude the session, sir?
Yes, if participants, if you're having any sort of questions, so you please type a question on the chat box. As otherwise, you can unmute yourself and please tell me. If you are not having any sort of questions, so we can wind up the meeting. So from my side, thank you so much, each and everyone, for your patient listening during the session. Thanks to the organizing team for inviting me. Yes, madam, over to you. I think there are no questions.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for an enlightening session. To conclude today program, I now invite Sindhil Kumar, sir, Project Assistant, Department of Research and Development, GRDP Society. Welcome, sir.
Good evening to all. On behalf of LKP Academy and the organizing committee, it's my pleasure to extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contributed to the success of day 2 of the International Faculty Development Program on bridging creativity with AI, data science, and blockchain. My sincere thanks to our esteemed resource person for sharing valuable insights and enriching us with knowledge. I also thank our participants for their active involvement and enthusiastic response. A special note of appreciation to our organizers, coordinators, and the technical team for their constant support in making this event run smoothly. Thank you all once again for your valuable time and precious presence. Wishing you a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Moni ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, participants. Thank you all. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.